success of our sellers is our success, and that's really what the message is. And so $13 billion is not Amazon's GMS, it is GMS that happens on Amazon Global Selling Platform from 3P sellers, and that is a large number. That number in a 9-year journey has reached $13 billion and $20 billion by next year, which is the 10th year. It used to be only $8 billion. So the first 8 years took $8 billion, the 9th year we are reporting $13 billion. Right? And so that sort of gives you a flavor of how much the seller base is sort of growing. 1.5 lakh sellers have now been part of the program, up from 1.25 lakhs. So those are sort of the top line stories, but those are just numbers. I thought what we wanted to do with Change was we wanted to give you a little more flavor of what is really happening. And we tried to bring a little bit of India to you through this experience zone and what you see in the books. And of course, many of you are also close to the sector. You follow us on our Exports Digest channels and this thing. But it's helpful to see really how much things are listed, what kinds of things are listed. And often, always, I've seen everybody surprised, oh, I didn't know this is also possible. That could be sold on Amazon, right? And that's really the beauty of what we feel like the technology and internet that we're driving through the Chansey and Srini these things. So, I mean, look at this, some of the stuff, it looks like, okay, yeah, it's possible, yeah, definitely. But wooden toys, right? Like, those are toys people are getting, there is a trend of sustainable toys, of clean and economic type, plastics and manufacturing. How do you get all of that out of the way? A big trend, and I think we have players like Shuni who are tracking that into a big way, right? So, great story over here. I think we've tried to get the city backdrops going and a little bit on, what is happening in the one district, one product. I think some of you, when you have time, just take a look at. We have a bunch of this content on our Amazon Global Selling channel as well on YouTube and on LinkedIn. But really, I guarantee you will be surprised at the nature of products our seller base is listing. This could be just, Cambay crystals and decorative items that come out of that, right? Or amethyst crystals, and how do you, bring that into a holistic well-being or an environment that sort of drives a little more peaceful living, things of that nature. And it's very, very surprising. We have people out of Bangalore and out of Uttarakhand that sell dog chewy toys that are laced with yak milk. I was like, wow, that's when Shilpi Singh announced the launch of that seller. I was like, I didn't even know such a thing existed in the world, right? And not only this is a seller that launched this year and is really scaling quite well, right? And so these are very, very powerful stories from all parts of the country. And I think we wanted to get all of you involved to sort of just be part of some of that journey, and you'll see some of that stuff over here, right? I think this is sort of just a little trip down the memory lane for us, how Export Digest itself has moved on, over the years from 2017 onwards. I think this is this year's version. I think you guys have your hands on the book there and display over here. Like last year, we really are talking about, really what is working well, or what are the trends, because those are the questions that often get asked, right? So what are the top product categories, or what are the fastest growing categories? And you will start to see, yes, some of this makes sense, and some of this will like, oh, I didn't know this is possible. For example, this groceries, tea, spices, yes, you know that it is possible, but in what shape and form, what packaging, what mix, what blends are happening. All of these are new things that our sellers are constantly experimenting with. And that is the beauty. You can experiment the cost of experimentation has gone down. You can inbound maybe 100 units of a product and see how customers are responding. You can change the pricing of these 100 units and see how they are responding. You can change price at 3 a.m. in the morning. You can change price at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. You can do whatever you want. You are in charge, and sellers are really embracing that innovation. Right? So that's what is driving the growth from a 2023 data perspective. I think some good stuff over here. Many of you probably saw the India Se Duniya Tak campaign of Pasture App and My Nature and Lakshmi Teas and Coddington Lane. I think this is a fantastic example of how businesses that have traditional manufacturing capabilities but don't necessarily have to sell their product at a small per unit fee to large retailers. They can get the full value chain going. I think that was a good story. This to me, This is my favorite chart that tells you what cities and districts are doing really, really well. And almost always, at least there are 2-3 surprises every year, right? Like for example, Anand, Gujarat, right? Or Erode, Tamil Nadu, or Panipat, Gujarat. Yes, these are traditional manufacturing centers for us, but they are now on e-commerce exports. That is really the story, that manufacturers are taking charge of their destiny themselves. Right? You are not, when you sell to a retailer, you don't know what customer insights there are. You don't know what price point they are going to sell it. You don't know what was working well, why did they buy, why did they not buy. Now you have all of this information available, and that's really.
Most of them are offbeat cities also.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think, I mean, they are not offbeat in the sense they are very large sort of manufacturing
Of course.
hubs from that sense, and they're actually very, very tech savvy. So it's not like, there aren't, technology natives over there, right? But, they're just embracing it in a big way. I think this is a page that we added to our Exports Digest this year. Most people don't realize it. It's very obvious for Amazon account managers because we help our sellers through all of these. But there is literally something happening in the world all the time. All the time. All the time. I want you to participate in that. If there is a Ramadan sale happening, why would you not participate in it? Right? If there is a back to school sale happening, why would you not participate in it? If there's a Father's Day sale happening, why would you not
It's
participate?
not seasonal and cyclical anymore. Yeah.
Yes. And so, everything that is available to a global seller based out of those respective countries is now available to you. Right? And just look at literally every something is happening the world over. And think summer sale in America, summer sale in Australia and South Africa, and like the seasons also change completely, right? Like, and it is not very obvious when you're sort of thinking of $13 billion, $8 billion. But this is what mechanically this is what happens, right? And that's what I wanted like all of you guys to appreciate, and that's what the team is sort of focusing on, what makes the inputs of this $13 billion. Yeah, I think many of you have seen some of this stuff. I think the QR codes give you a lot more detail about this. I think some states are naturally prolific. Some of these are just sort of GDP weighted. Some states really have a large GDP share.
These are domiciled in these particular
These are businesses that are based out of.
Got it.
We can take the questions in the other room. This was the gallery that we wanted you to have experience with. We can move to the
And some more
other room and
products.
you can have
Sure.
a quick chat.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you can sell a high cube item like that.
Thing, but I have only two questions from pessimistic view. Like those people, I have two questions. That those people who fail in Amazon or export selling, why do they fail?
I don't know, you guys probably.
I think we want to actually
answer.
focus more on.
Yeah, I think there are always, we can figure out. Is it a
Like
technology
anything
system?
you likely to mention key
See,
challenges.
maybe I'll repivot the question to what does it take to be successful, right?
Okay.
And I think the question is, can you understand the digital signals of customer demand patterns, and are you sort of adequately looking at that? Are you building a quality product that customers will love, and are you responding to customers' feedback so that you're adjusting the product? Are you using the best-in-class logistics technologies that are there to inbound and making sure you're managing your costs? Those are sort of some of the success factors that I would think that would work, and all of these are needed.
And from seller POV.
Yeah, I want to add something. First, product is very important. Pricing, platform. You have to understand the platform, how platform works. It can be your Insta also. You have to understand how it works. Same with Amazon. What kind of tools are there? Important thing is getting visibility. So there are many places there are many tools through which you can get visibility. So if you get visibility, then comes the point: is the pricing is correct? Is there need of the product? So these things need to be solved. Is the need of the product not? If it's not, pricing is not correct. If you haven't used the tools correctly to get more visibility, then bound to fail.
And the last question, do you have any in-place training program? Like you have virtual programs, everybody know, and people are doing already good there. So is there any in-place training program you have, either paid or free, or any plan you have for that?
I think we do a bunch of the webinar series for tools.
A part of webinars, like in place
Yeah.
it person.
So we're trying to get feedback on what is the best way to do some of these things, because webinars is a little bit easier because diverse sellers from all over the country can come and participate. In the room, then we have to manage the seller ki journey kya hai, new sellers have different questions, advanced sellers have different questions. But I think so far the webinars have worked really well for us, and then when we do export arts, there are specific deep dive topics that we do.